Aromie here. Welcome back to our life, Baxter JLC. We are here with our homie boy here. Talking about hobbies now. He was right, he had to volunteer work, for example. He was right, he had pastimes you love too. Speaking of hobbies, I am into all of these. Shit. Am I allowed to tell him all of it? You know, I like to play games. Baxter inclined his head, attentive to your words. It's interesting, I had no idea. I'd be glad to hear more about it sometime, if you'd care to elaborate further. I can't say I have any experience in the area myself. If I'm being honest, I do want to pursue it as a career somehow. That'd be nice, it's something I really enjoy. It doesn't have to make me money. I feel the same way about ballroom dancing. It's something that has intrinsic value to me beyond the potential to earn a living from it. Although to be clear, it isn't entirely devoid of, shall we say, remunerative benefits. His tone took on a slight edge and his eyes brightened with amusement. Dude, can you not look at me like that? It's like crazy. For those with a certain level of skill, there's some money to be had in the competitive scene, prize winnings and such. Huh. You guess it made sense, especially for someone with Baxter's level of panache. Baxter laughed heartily, his face apologetic.
I apologize.
I'm sorry to have deceived you, but I wasn't lying when I described it as a true passion of mine. Any additional compensation is nothing more than a fringe benefit. That's okay, I understand. Excellent. Thank you for indulging me on the topic. I had fun. Oh shit, okay, homie's gonna just think I'm strictly gamer, when I was strictly almost everything on that whole list, but alright, it's fine. From there, you and Baxter continued poking around until he'd browsed every shop on the path. He even doubled back around, leading you all the way across again for a second glance. Despite the short length, it was easy to miss something even after a dozen passes through, because the area was so packed. But Baxter was satisfied with going through twice. He came to a halt at the end of the path, his attention leaving the shops and landing on you. Thank you once more for showing me this place and for the gift. He held up the bag with the souvenir safely hidden inside. This truly has been a fantastic stop on my California sightseeing extravaganza. He inclined his head gracefully. The shopping street was officially a hit. It was nothing glad it didn't disappoint you. I'm not sure if that was really saying. He gave him a thumbs up.
Now,
I suppose I need to hold up my side of the bargain. I say I'd show you somewhere new, didn't I? Are you still interested in joining me in checking off an outing on my own goal list? You nodded, wondering just how wild your afternoon was about to become. Fantastic. In that case, we'll need to return to the neighborhood. He sauntered off in the correct direction before clarifying what his plan was, leaving you to trail behind him. With your brain abuzz over all the places he could possibly taking you, you mentally said goodbye to your old friend, the shopping street. You made it back to Baxter's rented condo and climbed into his also rented car. Not almost. He brought up directions on his phone, though it was careful not to let you catch a glimpse of the destination. He didn't even give you a hint. Then Baxter slipped his phone into the car handle slot for future reference and began to drive. You felt a bit nervous going for a ride with Baxter alone, especially to an unknown destination. While he was in a good mood, his increasing coyness told you he knew exactly what he was doing. That wasn't helping your twisting stomach. Oh, my girl is nervous. We're gonna get killed. After how many questions of yours he'd been answering, it was funny to have him suddenly act as if he'd never heard of the concept of sharing information with another person. You didn't push it, and inevitably the veil of secrets would be removed. Veil? Not veal. Veil, right? You only had to be patient. However, when he finally turned into a parking lot, you admitted it was not what you had been expecting. Even if you didn't know what to expect, it was still something you would not have guessed in a million years. On the top of the spacious building was a human-sized white pin. What? The place he'd wanted sightseeing was a bowling alley. What? Baxter led you to the entryway on air-light feet. Even from there, you could hear the clattering of a normal-sized pins getting knocked down, cutting into the disco tunes playing in the background. You wanted to go to bowling? You were gonna go bowling by yourself? You could do that, right? Play against yourself to practice, you know? The front desk advertised rates for paying per game versus per hour. Along the wall, tower shelves held dozens of shoes in all sorts of sizes, and past that were the shining alleys.
alright.
Here we are. You wanted to go bowling? Can you do that in Virginia? I guess bowling with Californian company is different. He was content as if bowling was all his soul needed to find peace. You know, I have been to a bowling alley before. This isn't new, I've been bowling before. How did you know I've never gone bowling? A bowling alley isn't what most people think of sightseeing. You were at a loss. I think I would be at a loss, to be honest. Like, what the fuck? Baxter smirked. Victorious, he left you speechless, and that was a win in his open book. Personally, I've never been bowling in my life. He hasn't gone to an ice cream truck, and he hasn't been bowling. I shouldn't be as shocked because I haven't had like American fast food until I was like 12 and up, so. I've wanted to try it for longer than I can remember, and well, what better opportunity than when I'm on a vacation? Wouldn't it be so much stranger to try it whilst I live my regular life? The life that I must remind you never had bowling in it before? It would be entirely unexplainable. Here, I'm a tourist. Doing new things is part of my job description. I mean, I won't argue with that logic. It's okay to have fun at home too. Maybe I should pretend to be tourists too. They can do whatever they want. I mean, I won't argue with that logic. It was too entertaining an argument, and there was nothing wrong with him wanting to have his fun now. Hanging out with Baxter, seeing firsthand how he was living, you were compelled to ask yourself, had you really done everything you wanted to? You were reminded of the fact that your time and sense of bird had its own limits, and you could very well be reaching the end of the line soon. This would be the last summer you had before becoming an adult, before taking your first step into everything that lay beyond. Sometimes lying awake in bed at night, you will feel the tension like a bubble in your chest, the worry, the excitement, the anticipation of what the future might hold. Before that, how could you make the most of what remained? You weren't sure how to answer those questions, but in the current occasion at least, you didn't have the chance to ponder them further. Baxter chimed in again, your train of thought evaporated.
So?
Since we're on the subject, Michiko, have you done this before? Bowling, I mean. Yes, I've had. Like once or twice. Twice? I think I've done it twice. Once or twice. I see, but have you been to this particular bowling alley? I know it's quite new. What? You glanced at the sparkling floors, walls, balls, and even couches. It certainly was recently made. None of the thing had any sign of wear and tear, and none of it was familiar. No, I haven't been. Baxter smirked, victorious.
See?
So I did bring you somewhere you'd never seen before. He had given it to him. Baxter won, though on a technicality. But now then, shall we get in line? They seem to be popular today. Or perhaps this is considered a slow day. I have no basis of comparison. But we might be waiting for a lane. It's alright. The two of you joined the queue at the counter, though the bowling alleys were indeed full. You got your booking in and were handed rental shoes for when the opening came. Baxter flashed you his charming smile and insisted on paying. Since you were so generous as to give me a keepsake. Fine, I paid at my spot. I guess you can at yours. Exactly. You laced up your shoes for a sec, and that was it in terms of finishing preparation. There was time aplenty to kill before your round began. Well, since you were here, what's your family like? So what's up with the black and white thing? I think, what's your family like? We're just gonna go down the line at this point. Baxter's trained up properly. He guessed you would ask about this sooner or later.
Honestly.
It's not the most exciting story all told. My immediate family consists of my mother and father and myself. Also your only child. For better or worse, I am an only child. That tends not to surprise people. His voice took on a slight... if he wasn't, I would think he would be the youngest. Like the younger brother. Not the oldest. Or not even the middle. He gives me younger brother vibes. As if he was reciting something he'd practiced many times over. In many ways, my parents are the prototypical example of success. They're affluent, sophisticated, and have a wide-reaching and influential social circle. As family goes, I suppose I'd have to say that we are a happy set. As sometimes happened with Baxter, you weren't convinced he was giving you the whole picture. You couldn't help but give him a curious look. What about not in general? His eyes narrowed knowingly and his mouth pressed into a thin smirk. Dude, his expressions are so fucking good. I can see you're not content. I love my parents, but that's not to say that there aren't complaints to be had. It's a mutual feeling. They understand care through the lens of control and protection. That's been their way ever since I was young. In that sense, they treat me no different from a child. But of course they are quiet, educated, esteemed, and a tad old, as is their company most days. That's not the environment to act as a kid. That meant I have always been expected to behave with the maturity of someone their own age, or perhaps even older somehow. I can see that. A bit of a paradox, isn't it? Do everything as an adult would while getting the respect of an infant does. As for me, I think of myself as much more of a free spirit at heart. I'm my own person, and I like to enjoy life in whatever I see fit.
Well,
you could say I'm a bit of a rebel. I mean, from that upbringing, you can kind of predict that. He said it almost furtively, like he divulged some important personal secret. I didn't see that. I can't see that. You're the politest rebel I've ever met. So you're a bad boy. I wouldn't have put you as a troublemaker, you know it. No, I can see that. Or should we... good joke around? He grinned, leaned closer, and met your gaze with a meaningful look. There was a heat to it that spread all the way to the pit of your stomach.
Absolutely.
The very worst. You're courting danger simply by being near me. His voice dropped a fraction lower. Why is he blushing? You're so cute. That makes you something of a rebel too. A heartbeat. A pause. Then he broke eye contact and moved away. When his gaze returned to you, his usual affable smile returned with it. Speaking of your parents, where are they now? You didn't mention them visiting Sunset Bird. They're at home, most likely. I don't know for sure. Huh, that was odd to you. Why did Baxter come to here during his semester off, instead of going back to his family home? I didn't want to stay with them, or go back home to Oregon at all, in fact. More rebellious behavior on my part, you see. His tone was a strange mixture of proud and diffident. Like he knew how frivolous it sounded, but had decided to own it anyway.
No.
Mother and father agreed to me vacation on my own, but under the condition that they would have the choice of where I stayed. California being fairly close by and Sunset Bird being so quaint, not to mention our prior excursions to the area, they concluded that this was the easiest way to keep me out of trouble. They had it all planned out, a safe summer holiday for their only child. You couldn't help but be surprised at that. He'd said a similar thing when you two first met, actually, that his parents had sent him here to keep it from being exciting. Sure, Sunset Bird was small and sleepy for the most part, but it was still the Californian coast, and Prison Vista City was right there. Well, part of that was unexciting, especially since he had his own rental car. What do you mean? What do you normally do if a summer in SoCal is unexciting? As you posed this question to him, Baxter's casual demeanor underwent a change. His customary relaxed smile took on a wickedly sharp edge, and his eyes flashed with a devilish mischief. The change was so surprising that you couldn't help but imagine what his prim and proper parents would think if they were here to see it. It looks like he's up to no good. He shifted closer, conspiratorially, and spoke in a hushed voice.
So?
Do you know what the legal age requirement is for renting a car in the state of California? Why are you asking me that? 21, 20? That's how old you are, right? I don't think he is. Is he? I don't know. I don't live in California. Is it? I'm gonna guess 18? It's 21. Oh, he said it totally casually, almost without inflection. I, however, am 19. What the fuck? How'd you do that? But it took a moment for his words to register. Wait, Baxter was 19? And the legal age for renting a car was... Oh. You were rendered momentarily speechless all this time and you had no idea. Baxter carried on speaking, not noticing or politely ignoring the implosion your thought process was undergoing. The truth of the matter is that my parents, being uncreative people, had full confidence that I wouldn't be able to rent a car. That's why Sunset Bird was chosen as my destination.
It's doable.
But I don't have the same issue. There are ways around the age limitation, as you might have gathered. Since I'm over 18 and I have control over my own bank accounts, I honestly don't know why they bother trying at this point. What the fuck? This man is smart. You laughed nervously to yourself. Now that you knew about the legality of the situation, you couldn't help but wonder if riding around with Baxter made you an accomplice. So how'd you manage it? It wasn't all that difficult, honestly. I didn't have to do anything awful, don't worry. I have a large number of social connections myself, members of the dance circuit. Circuit? Yeah. Acquaintances from the country club, fellow students from college, miscellaneous family friends. The list goes on. The point is, I'm fortunate enough to have a connection in the area who had an extra car, which was mine to use provided I covered the cost, plus a little extra, of course. The throwaway nature of this last part gave you a pause. Baxter's idea of a little, or probably put Cliff Holden's $20 to shame. Okay, that's good to know, I guess. Splendid. Glad that's squared away. He gave you a saccharine smile, all honey, and that, for now, was that. The conversation successfully filled with the waiting period. An attendant suddenly called you over. Elaine was free. Excellent, thank you. Together you headed over to the rack of house balls where Baxter began to size them up. So they come in different weights. Interesting. He touched a forefinger to his chin, pondering the choice carefully. You picked a heavier ball. No sweat. Medium ball moderation was key. A lighter ball, better safe than sorry. I'm gonna go with a lighter ball in the next episode because heavy ball, no sweat, not me. All sweat. Anyway, thank you guys for watching today's episode. We have more information on Baxter now. He's a single child, has mommy and daddy that are rich, which, you know, I guess that's no surprise for both points. He's 19, so he's only a year older than us. I thought he was a little bit like 2 years older, like 20, but he's 19. And we got to learn about his little backstory. I feel like he's just trying to catch up on life because his parents sheltered him so much and made him mature too quickly. So he has this air about him that seems much more older, but he's not. But that's okay. We're gonna love this man with all of our heart. But thank you guys for watching today's episode. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.